Hi everyone, how are you today? Welcome to a Wednesday afternoon. We are here at Brutus Monroe, so I am happy to see everyone here. Let me just see if I can pull up your comments so I can see them. Okay, perfect. All right, so today we have a lot to discuss. So we're going to talk about the inspiration box stamp. We are going to talk about some new items from Tim Holtz, and we are also going to talk about Gina K Designs. She had a fabulous release on Monday night, and we have it all. It's here now, so I'm going to show it to you, and we're going to use something from Gina K and something from our inspiration box this month and create a really fun card with a dog on it. So let's go ahead and take a little peek at the stamp. So this is called Four-Legged Friends. This is the 6x8 stamp that comes in the inspiration box this month. So you'll notice it has a ton of cute little dogs and cats, along with all their little toys, some cute little sentiments that go along with that. But it also comes with coordinating die. So this one is not on the normal package. This is just put on some white cardstock. But these are all the pieces that will come into the package. And you get the die in the box as well. So the box also includes, I don't have the whole box in front of me because I'm not using it all, but it does include a special embossing powder this month, and it is called Dalmatian. It's like a mix of brown and black and like a chunky white. So it kind of it's a textured embossing powder. We're going to use that today too. So that's why I have that out. But isn't that so fun? Which one is Henry? So none of these dogs are really Henry, I guess. But you know, we're going to use one of them today. I really think we're going to use this little guy with the long ears. I think he's so cute, but they're also, I love this cat too. Okay, so anyways, let me set that aside, and we will kind of talk about a couple other things, and then we'll get back to our project for today. So I said that we were going to talk about Gina K. So let me just show you. So I have her whole entire release here. Oh, hi, Vicki. This is actually Michael, but I'm glad that this is your first time watching. Okay, so let's just start first things first. So this is a word die. It says peace, and then there's also a shadow included. Okay, so that is the standalone die that says peace. This stamp is called Peace, Love, Joy Mini. I actually really like this for several reasons. So there's some nice sentiments on here that I think, I like to call them like inside sentiments. So it says kindness is like snow. It beautifies everything it touches. This one says blessed is the season which engages the whole world in a conspiracy of love. So these would be really nice on the inside of something. And then this corner piece is perfect for like an envelope or a gift card holder or, you know, a card as well. But I think that's a really cool stamp. And then this one goes perfectly with this one. This is called Mix and Match Holiday. So it has some loose snowflakes on there, and it has a whole bunch of different sentiments that you can kind of mix and match and create your own words and phrases. So, you know, there's some really good, may you never be too old to search for the skies on Christmas or on the holidays. You know, there's so many different things that you could create with this. You know, Merry Little Christmas, Merry and Bright, Happy New Year, walking in a, you know, wonderful snow, whatever you want to do. But I really like that it has all of these different phrases and things. Oh, hi, Beverly. So the next one, this is called Kitchen Tags. So this is I think a must-have. So we're coming out with something next month that will go absolutely perfect with this, and I'm really excited about it. So you could make little recipe tags. Just imagine as like a gift, you took like one of those mason jars and did like the layered like cookie mix or something. And then you created a tag, and you could use, you know, these stamps to make a little gift tag with recipe on the side. I think that would be A really great idea. And there's all kinds: cupcakes, cake, pie, Christmas cookies, baked goods. There's even a little stamp of a pickle and some pickle chips down here. I think that's so cute. So, and it says kid tested, mother approved. I really like that. That's a good one. Okay, so next up, this is called Starstruck. And it's a 4x6 stamp. It's a really nice bold font. So I think this would be good for embossing powder too. And there's some nice solid stars. But there's this big like star piece that's really pretty. So that's another one. It is called Starstruck that I think is really great. The next one here, this one is called Autumn Chrysanthemum. So if you know Gina K, you know Gina K does flowers like nobody else. So this is a fantastic, big, bold chrysanthemum with some leaves around it and some really great sentiments. I'm so thankful for our friendship. You are such a blessing. I love it. And then there's a coordinating die to go with it too. And all of Gina K Designs coordinating dies come on magnets. So it's really helpful with the storage. So that is Autumn Chrysanthemum. Next, we have another 6x8 stamp set that is called Floral Wishes. And this is a really large floral piece. This would be great for scrapbooking or art journaling, or, you know, you could make like a section of a card with this and watercolor it or paint it or color it with colored pencils, Copics, whatever you like to do. But I love that it's such a big piece. Like here's a, you know, example of how large this is on stamp set. I love that. And there's a ton of great sentiments too. Wishing you a lifetime of love, you know, anniversary wishes, birthday wishes, wishing you the best, wishing you joy, you know, wishes for a better tomorrow. There's so many options here. I really love that. Okay, so next up we have Magnificent Marigolds. So this is another one. It has a really great large floral piece in the center there that's good for card making, scrapbooking, all of those things. Some smaller pieces, and there's a coordinating die, so it's really good. And the sentiments, I'm telling you what, they're so good. With God, all things are possible. Happy birthday, I'm so grateful. Some really wonderful things there. Hi, Donna. And then this one is called Reason for the Season. So it has some really bold sentiment stamps with some different bits around them. Have a holly jolly Christmas. It's the best time of the year. Jesus is the reason for the season. Merry Christmas. And then these, I think this is a good inside sentiment as well. Wishing you Christmas joy and the happiest new year. So, you know, if you just want to stamp that on the inside of your card and you're done. And it's a really pretty font. That's a really trendy font right now. So again, that one's called Reason for the Season. The next one is really adorable too. It is called Playful Penguin, I believe. Yes, Playful Penguins. And they are these just adorable little penguins. And there's all kinds of accessories that you could add. You can make a wreath. We're going to talk about wreath building today. That's going to be kind of our focus of our project. It says it's penguining. I don't know how to say that, but to look a lot like Christmas. It's a pun with penguins. I think that's really cute. And there's also a coordinating die for this. And again, they come on magnets, just like ours. Gina K Designs dies are already cut apart. Oh, hi, Simon. How are you today? So that is the Playful Penguin. We're actually going to use Simon's inks today. So next up, this is the Slimline Starters. So you'll notice here that there's a large, like, kind of slimline piece, and then there's this circle piece, but there's also a little top that looks like an ornament topper, and you can add in all of these little borders and things into all of your little bits here to create some really fun stuff on slimline cards. So I think that's kind of a really cool stamp, necessary stamp. Haven't seen one like it. Next up, we have, this is one of my favorites of the release because I just love poinsettias. I think they're really fun. So it's called Perfect Poinsettia, and they layer. So there's, you know, several different layering pieces here, and I love this little kind of pine branch. I like the fonts for the sentiments, and there's a coordinating die. And you guys know I just love coordinating dies. So those are all the stamps. And then the other thing is there are some standalone dies that I just think are really cool. So this one is called the gift card tag. And what's going to happen here is when you die cut this out, it's going to put a score mark here and 2 score marks here, and you'll fold these flaps in. and fold this up, and it'll give you like a little tag you can slide a gift card in. Isn't that so fun? And you can tie a ribbon on it, maybe put it on the front of the card, hang it from a tree, put it in a stocking. There's all kinds of options that you can do there. So then there's also, this is called a gift card envelope. So basically this is the size of a gift card here. So you'll die cut this out, it'll cut all of this in your little piece there, and then it'll just put score marks here. So you can make a little envelope for a gift card, just like in no time flat. Bing, bam, boom, you're done. So that is the whole holiday release. I think she called it holiday release number 2. So that is the holiday release there. And then the other thing that we brought in, so we have the large wreath builder template, and this is what I'm going to be using today to show you our cool little dog card. But basically what this does is you can cut paper into 5 3/4, 5 1/4, or 4 3/4 inches, and make some really cool things. And we're going to do that in just a moment here. So that's exciting. And we are, like I said, I'm pretty certain all of the Simon Hurley ink colors, the new ones, are sold out. But what I will say is we did just get a restock today of the previous colors. So if there are Simon Hurley inks that you've been looking for, we do have more. They just came in today, so they should be available now. Okay, so let's talk about this wreath builder. I'll talk about the Tim Holtz in a little bit too, but I want to get into our project before we get too far along. So, but yeah, so we have a limited amount of the Gina K release. We also brought in the ivory pigment ink that I use a lot. I didn't bring it down here to the studio, but I use that at home a lot. So anyone who's been wanting that, we do now have it. Okay, so you kind of need a Misty for this. I'm pretty certain that you do. Okay, so you'll see that your wreath builder template fits perfectly inside your Misty. Wonderful, right? Okay, and then I'm going to be using the smallest piece here. So you'll notice that there's extra pieces that align inside here. So we're not going to need all of those today. Or we are going to need all of those today, I'm sorry. Okay, so then your piece of paper, all right, which I have cut to 4.75, will fit nicely in here. I just have to make sure that I get a little bit of tape to hold this together, because I don't want it to move while we are turning it. But otherwise, how is everybody today? Are you doing well? It's Wednesday. I'm actually off. Today's my last day. I'm off Thursday and Friday this week. I'm going to a little, like a crop. So it's for 4 days. So I will be out of the office after today for the rest of the week. All right, so I just kind of put all that in there to hold it together. All right, so this other piece, just so you know, fits in here, and there are a lot of guidelines on here, and this is how you can find the center. So if you are, for instance, wanting to stamp something in the center of your card, okay, here's what you would do. So you take your piece of paper that you cut to, you know, the desired size for depending on which template you're using, and then you can put that back, and you can put this piece over top, right? So then what you'll do, if you want to find the center, is you'll see there's a center point right there. And you can put your stamp, so like let's say this is the stamp, you can put your stamp right on there to center it, and then close your Misty, and then take this off and stamp it in the center, and you'll always be able to find the center that way. So that's what's really great, I think, about the wreath builder. Now, for what I'm doing today, I'm going to put one of the dogs in the center, but I'm going to actually die cut that out and pop it up with foam tape, so I won't need to worry about that for today. But we are going to build like a little wreath of dog toys. Okay, so let's get out our stamp and pull it out. pull our little pieces off, and we can kind of see what this wreath builder is capable of. Does anybody have this wreath builder? Like, does anybody already do this? Yay, nay. Okay, so I think maybe we'll start with this larger bone. All right. And we have quite a few pieces to choose from. There's a ball, there's, you know, a dog dish, there's a smaller bone, there's a pool toy. The yarn, I mean, that's really for a cat, but we could put that on here too. It doesn't really matter. But we'll start with the larger bone, okay? And, oh, just so you know, whenever we do this, there's going to be a little bit of an overhang over here, and that's totally okay, right? So don't get upset about any kind of overhang. So when you close it, it's not going to affect anything, okay? So what we're going to do is put our bone, you know, kind of where we want it. And the other thing to think about when I'm doing this is I'm going to be cutting this wreath out with a circle die. So this is one of our foundation dies. It comes with, you know, all of these circles. I'm going to be using the largest circle today. So whenever I'm positioning the pieces, I'm going to kind of want to make sure that they'll be centered within this circle. Okay, so that's kind of an important note. Make sense? So, okay, let's line that up. I think that's good. I'm going to close the Misty door. Take my circle die away because I don't need that right now. And then I'm going to start stamping. So I think the first one, we'll do this in the gur. And I'll actually put a little bit of tape runner on the back just to kind of hold this in place as we're turning it. But, so we'll just ink this up. Press. I'll definitely need more ink than that. I was not very generous with that ink, you guys. I don't know why. I was a little nervous there. Okay. All right, so that's number one. Now, we're not going to do anything with the stamp. We're going to leave it right where it is, okay? But what we're going to do is pick up the piece of paper and we're going to turn it, okay? And we're going to turn it and make sure it fits within the groove. And then what you'll see is the bone going in a different direction. So we'll ink that bone up again. Give it a good press. And there we go. So, and then we're going to continue to do this until we've gone the whole way around. Okay, you just turn it each time into your little diamonds, your piece of paper. And you can do this on a larger size. Like I said, there's two, you can go 2 sizes bigger here. But like I said, for today, I'm just going to focus on this size as we create our little wreath. And I think we're going to use the shooting star color next with our tennis ball. But the great thing about this wreath builder that I love, and I know that Gina's probably said this many times, is it's a really great way to utilize a lot of your small stamps, okay? Because, you know, you often might have stamp sets that have smaller pieces that you just kind of don't know what to do with, or, you know, you're like, I don't know if I want to put that part of the flower in. But if you, you know, create yourself a little wreath, it's the perfect perfect opportunity for small stamps. And speaking of Gina, so I know a lot of you know our staycation event, she's teaching at it, and that is in February, at the end of February. But I will tell you, the tickets for the staycation, I believe it's November. I don't know if it's the 12th. I think it's the 12th. The tickets for the staycation are closing on November the 12th. Because, unfortunately, we have to make sure that everyone participating has enough time to manufacture all the products. So if anyone's been thinking about that, it's coming to a close very soon. But how does everyone like our little wreath so far? Do you see what's happening here? Do you see like the little formation that we're creating with the bones? And like, to be completely honest, if I tried to stamp this out just like on my own, I would never get this right. It wouldn't be even. It would be all over the place, honest to goodness. So this tool, this large wreath builder, it just makes it so simple and easy to create a new, something new out of something that has been sitting there. And I mean, in this case, it's from our inspiration box, but there's tons of possibilities that I can think of to use this with. I just decided to do the dogs today because that's our theme of the month. I've been really excited about the pets all month long, or all year long. So I knew this was coming. I knew it was going to be, a really long time till we got to it, but we're finally here. And I was very excited about it. So, all right. So that is our first layer in our wreath. So look how cool that is. Nice and even, perfect every time. Grab a little cleaning cloth and some spray. Clean our stamp. All right, so the next, like I said, we're going to do another piece. I think the next one, like I said, is going to be the tennis ball. So let me pull that stamp out. And like I said, we're going to switch colors. We're going to go to new colors. So that was the Gur, but I think for this, we're going to use the Shooting Star, which is a new color in the Simon Hurley line. And this is the really cool part about the wreath builder. So now we get to decide where the next piece goes. So I think it's going to go right there. I just want to make sure it's not touching. Okay, great. I think that will work. Yeah, we'll try that. All right, so just press that down. And then we will start with our, look how bright that is. That's such a good color. Are you making a card for Henry to give out? Oh my gosh, I should. That's a good idea, Donna. That's a great idea. Henry should start sending cards. Oh, it's so cool. It's like nice and bright yellow. It might be harder to see because of the lighting, but I'll show you at the end. Okay, so that was the first one. So now we're just going to turn it to the next section, and then we'll ink that up all over again, our little tennis ball. And it should be right next to the other one. You see that? And then we'll just continue on. Okay, so that one's overlapping just a bit, but that's okay. Oh, I shifted the I shifted my foam piece, so I overlapped that one a little bit, but that's all right. No big deal. Okay, so then I'm going to try something really crazy with you guys. I'm going to do the next stamp I'm going to add is the little like chew toy. And I think I want it to go like right here in between the bones. But what we're gonna do is 2 at one time. Okay, so I'm gonna use the no diving for the chew toy. And the shooting star for the tennis ball. And this way, look at that. You now do 2 at once. So as you can see, it's just going to continue the pattern. And that way we just keep moving on. And I know this might seem just like a little tedious, but really I think it's kind of relaxing because you're making something really interesting. The only other thing that I think we're going to need in here is something that's red. I think that's the logical next step, and I think I know where we're going to put it. But we'll do that. That'll be the last step to our little wreath. Our dog wreath. Is anybody making their holiday cards yet? Some people probably already have made a lot. I'll be making some this weekend, hopefully. All right, so that completed the tennis ball. So I'm just going to stop with the shooting star. But this is where I'm going to bring in, remember I said we needed something red? So I'm going to use that last little bone. And we're going to kind of overlap right here. So when you find the right, red or orange, I guess, would work. This is more of like a pink. I might have to use, we use the bee sting. I think I just saw it. There it is. Oh, hello, Penny. Okay, so all right. I just have to make sure. Okay, we're good there. All right, so we're going to turn so I can get my next piece of blue on. And then we'll start the red at the same time. Okay? So we have our no diving for our dog chew toy, I think is what I was calling it. And then our bee sting on this bone. Yeah, that's perfect. That's exactly what I want. All right, so we're going to turn this again. We just needed that like extra little bit of color there, right? Okay, great. Oh, you got the subscriber first 5. Yes, that's a great idea, Gina. Okay. So I think we have one more double to do here, and then all of our stuff will start to kind of overlap. And that's fine. That's kind of the plan. I want a lot of like craziness going on here. So yeah, that was our last bit of the blue. So let me peel that away. And then from now on, each turn is just going to include the red. And then you'll see we have this kind of like whole overlapped scenario going on, like the chew toy, the bone, the tennis ball. They just all intermingle. And then we'll cut it out with the circle die and we'll be like, what? So this is the other reason I wanted to do it this way. Like I had a whole idea, and I still do, and I still will make this with Gina's. So that Playful Penguin stamp set has a lot of really small images on it that would be really great for a wreath builder. But I wanted to do it this way and show you that like this is how you can use all of these products together. So, you know, I think a lot of people feel like they have to use like certain brands like just with that brand, you know, but you don't have to do that. Everything mixes and mingles. So like I'm using, you know, our stamp, Gina's tool, Simon's ink, you know, so it's, I always say, I think everybody in this industry is capable of being in the same sandbox, right? So make sure that, you know, the supplies that you're buying and the things that you're getting, that you're actually using them and use them together. You can create such fun and wonderful things with all of this stuff. Okay, great. So that, my friends, is our kind of our wreath. But the real magic's gonna happen when we die cut this, I think. I mean, you can kind of see how cool that looks already. But, and again, the 2 of the colors on this are new. So No Diving and Shooting Star are 2 of the new colors. Funny story, these are like exact, when I was in high school, these were like my school colors. Blue and yellow. Yeah. Little blast from the past there. So yeah, so that, my friends, is the wreath builder, and that's so fun, right? So I'm just gonna set this aside for now. And remember, if you did want to center something in the middle, now that you can kind of see the whole wreath, you would put that extra piece over top, and you can so easily find the center. So if you do want to do it that way, go for it, right? Okay, so I had that circle die, and we're gonna go ahead and bring that back, and then we're gonna fit this on here. So it is gonna cut off some of the chew toy, which is totally fine. I knew that was gonna happen. I wanted it to happen. So I'm just take a look at this rainbow masking tape just to hold the die in place, you know, so we don't shift or move or anything. And I'm just gonna grab our die cutting plate and cut this out real quick. So then we will have our circle for the center of our card. And then we're gonna do some embossing for like the background piece. then that is what your wreath builder looks like.
Oh, that's real good.
Once it's all, you know, built in on there. I did kind of off-center that with the die a little bit, but that's okay. It's hard for me to see from above. The table's a little too high for me, but
press the button.
That's okay now. At any rate, so I said we're gonna set that aside. So we're gonna use our layering piece for our card. So we're gonna be using square card base craft or lunch bag, and then this black layering piece. It's just this is just 5 inches by 5 inches. The front of the card base is 5.25 by 5.25. But I'm going to, this is our stencil of the month, okay? So, it's similar to another stencil we have, but they're much larger paw prints. So I already put pixie spray on here. So I'm just gonna press that down. And then I just need like a piece of scratch paper, I think. Or cardstock, whatever you want. Okay. So, all right, I'm gonna take some embossing ink. And just, you know, kind of rub all over this. Dab, 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 dab. Because I want to emboss through the stencil. And this is just going to add a little bit of texture in our background. And you'll see what I mean with that embossing powder that's in the inspiration box, the Dalmatian. That it has some like chunky pieces in it. Okay, I think that's good. Peel that back. Oh yeah, he is. He pops in from time to time, you know, to say hello, see what's going on. All right, so I just kind of covered this in that powder. I'm really aggressive with embossing powder. I like to make sure we're very like full coverage here, right? So this is let me put this back in the jar, and then we'll talk about why I think this powder's cool before we heat it up. Okay. So, like I said, this powder has some like chunks in it. And you can see before it's heated that, like a Dalmatian, the spots kind of go wherever they want. It's not necessarily like one or the other. So for this, I'm going to use the Ranger Heated tool. And the reason I'm going to use this is it gets just as hot as an heat embossing tool, but it's not going to blast the embossing powder right off the paper, right? And any time that there's like a chunkier embossing powder, I actually like to go from the bottom and heat it that way, because it kind of melts it from the back, and then what happens is it doesn't blow those like larger pieces away. So while this might take a little bit longer than going, you know, from the top, I think it in the end kind of produces a better result. And I know it might not look like much right now, but once this is all kind of heated up, it will. Because you'll start to begin to see like shades of gray, shades of black that all kind of protrude through, and it really kind of looks like all different markings on an animal. And this embossing powder is only in this inspiration box. We don't have it like separate. So if you get our inspiration box every month, you get a special surprise with this powder. Okay. Switch corners. So, are you guys doing anything exciting this weekend? Big fun plans? Decorating for the holidays? Anything like that? Thumbs up. Cool. I'm so glad you love it, Taz. Okay, so I think that's good. I'm just going to give it like a once over from the top now, since it's all kind of melted, to flatten out the paper a little bit. You're heading to a crop fair weekend. Me too, Jackie. Me too. I'm excited about it. I need some coffee. There we go. Okay, so then we're just going to attach our little embossed piece with some tape. I'm just going to use double-sided tape today. A couple pieces should be good. I'll just go ahead and peel our backing off. And again, this is like not a difficult project, I don't think. Okay, so then I'm just gonna kind of figure out where the center is, you know, top, bottom, left to right. All right, and then, okay, let me hold this closer. So can you guys see, like, there's black in there, there's brown, there's white. It really does look like, you know, spots on a dog. It's really cool. Okay, so then we have our wreath piece that it's a little off because I couldn't see from the back, but I'm just gonna adhere that with some foam tape to give it a little bit of dimension. And it's okay that it seems a little off. I can fix that with the sentiment. Don't you fret. There's always a way to repair stuff, right? It's just paper. So if you cut something a little off, don't be discouraged. I do it all the time. I just sometimes I just have pieces like pre-done, so it looks like I did it right, but I might have actually made it like 3 times before before the video. We're all human, right? We all put our pants on the same way every morning, right? That's what I say. I think we do. Okay, so then we're gonna find the center, you know, wherever you like, and that's nice and popped up. Okay. And then we're kind of halfway there, more than halfway there. So we're going to do the sentiment first and the dog last. How about that? Dog's going to be last. We're just going to hurry up with some colored pencils and color that in. But I think for this, since I want to make it look like it's not crooked, we're going to do paw prints on our hearts. Okay? And what I'm going to do here is I have this little piece of craft paper that I'm going to cut down. I'll just trim a little piece off, okay? So then what we'll do is we'll stamp our sentiment onto craft, right? Okay. We're just going to stamp our sentiment right on this craft paper in black. You could see this. Oh, yeah, you could totally do it as a holiday ornament. You absolutely could. It's my signature design statement. Wonky. I love that. Paw prints on our hearts. I think I need to re-ink this ink pad, but so we'll just do it a couple times. Because I want it to be nice and crisp and crunchy, right? Big and bold. And then I think we'll make just like a little shadow piece to go behind that with the black cardstock. Oh yeah, that looks fantastic, I think. All right, so I'll just leave that stamp in there real quick. And we will trim down our little piece. For our sentiment. Then here's gonna be my little trick for our shadow, right? So I'm just gonna take the tape runner. I forgot this was here. And I'm gonna put it where I want it with the right amount of border on both sides. See that? Paw prints on our hearts. And then I'm just gonna go in with that already on there. And be able to trim off the right amount. Now this could use like a tiny little hair more. So we'll see if I can, there we go. But now that's like already matted just like that, you know? Simple. All right, friends. So, one more thing we have to do is our dog. Okay, so like I said, I think I want to use this guy up here. And the reason, so you have to think about like how he's gonna fit on here. He's gonna fit nice in the middle, I think. All right, let's hop to our pup. And I have a little scrap piece of the white cardstock that I used. And we're just gonna die cut him out after I stamp him. So, well, we're gonna stamp and then color real quick. Like I said, just with some colored pencil, so it's nice and fast. But, oh my gosh, look how cute. All right, we got him nice and crispy a couple times. Before I start penciling it, I'm just gonna heat set that just like rather fast. Just so I don't make any smears or smudges. I tend to do that sometimes when I'm like, oh, let's do this, let's do that. Okay, so let me find some, like a brown. That's kind of a dark. See, maybe we have like a, yeah, so I'm just gonna, you know, go in. really quickly kind of color him up. I'm not doing like a whole lot of like shading stuff here, specialty coloring. I don't really feel like I'm that great at it, but what you can do with colored pencil to make yourself look like a pro is get out some Gamsol and a blending stump. So you just get out your little blending stump and your Gamsol, and you know, you can just blend right away. And it'll give the impression that you are a pro. And all your friends will be like, oh my gosh, look at those coloring skills. And really, it's just like as simple as kind of blending with the Gamsol. I think we'll do like a little red on his tongue, maybe a little blue on his collar, and some yellow on that tag. I'm just going to go in around maybe the edges a little bit with this darker. Give our little puppy. Does anybody want to name him? What do you think we should name this dog? What would this dog's name be? If this was your dog, what would you name it? Alright, so let's get a little red on his little tongue. I gotta find a blue, a nice blue. Rex, I see Rex, I see Cherry. There we go, there's some names. Nice yellow tag. A little blue collar. Oh my gosh, you guys, these dogs are so cute. I just love little dogs, don't you? Alright, so the last thing we gotta do is find our die. So let me grab our coordinating die. I think he is this guy. He is... Your doggy is called Mepsy. Oh, that's so cute. Whoops. I'm just going to use some of the little rainbow masking tape dispenser to center our little die right on our little pup so it doesn't move. And then we're just going to die cut this little guy out, and we'll be ready to finish our card. And I'm so excited. I'm just going to pull him back through this way so it's easy. Easy peasy. All right. Right, you guys. I'm just looking for my little tape thing. 1 second. Oh well. I can just use the black foam tape, I think. Alright, so we have our adorable little puppy. And we'll just foam tape him up a little bit too. Because he needs some dimension. And like I said, so we're going to... So this part here, over here, is kind of where it looks like it's off, you know? So what we're going to do, sneakily, is cover that up with a centimeter, like I said. Remember, you guys? for those of you that were paying attention, when I said I cut it a little wonky. We're just gonna fix that right here, and no one's gonna notice, right? Paw prints on our hearts. Wham bam. Thank you, ma'am. And then our little puppy. Oh, you said Pepsi. Oh, okay. I'm gonna put him a little kind of like tilted, I think, inside the wreath. Popped up inside the wreath. Paw prints on our hearts. Look how fun that is, you guys. And like I said, there's so much more you could do with this. You could color in like all of these pieces if you really wanted to. But that's really it. I hope you guys enjoy the card. And like I said, it's just a craft card base. So it's a really fun, exciting new way to use the products within your monthly inspiration box. And like I also said, I did utilize the stencil of the month with this as well. That was kind of the background with our embossing powder. So that is our card for today. So I did tell you guys that I was going to show you some of the Tim Holtz stuff. So I'm going to do that really fast too and show you what we got going on here. So some of the Ideology Christmas has come in as well. So, but yeah, that's our card for today. I'll show it again before we're done. So Tim Holtz Ideology is something that's so fun. If you like mixed media, you like to add, card front projects, card fronts, whatever you want to do. There's a lot of stuff. So first and foremost, there is this new wooden piece. It's called a Vignette display panel, and it's a pretty nice size. So we have that. We have the Tim Holtz Ideology baubles. These look like they're like pearlescent. We have the mirrored stars. So these almost look like a rhinestone, but it's a star, and on the back there's a mirror. And,
works.
And on these, they're called adornments. It's a snowflake charm that has little rhinestones in it. This is one of my favorite things of the whole collection. This is called Confections, but it's peppermint candy. Next up, we have, these are called baseboards. So it's a thick chipboard of all different elements. There's stars, there's frames, there's all different kinds of things. So there's those. And then the icicles, we have mini icicles now. So those of you in the past who may have seen these before, they were bigger, but now they are smaller this time. There are tin tops. So these are, they're made of tin, and they look like vintage little tops of different things, cookie boxes, whatever. And then this is a really cool item too. It's new this year. They're miniature file folders. So they're Christmas themed. If you look on the back, you could make little mini notebooks out of this. You could probably put gift cards in them. You could make a whole little album out of these. So I would get these really quick. We don't have a lot of them. They're going very fast. But actually all of this stuff is. So that is all the Tim Holtz. I wanted to make sure you saw that. So you can't say that no one told you. But don't forget, this is our fun little card today that we made using our November inspiration box items. Oh, there's also these two things. This new embossing folder, Arched from Icicles, and these are collage tiles. So they're paper, but you can make collage items with that. But yeah, inspiration box, the Gina K release, and we used our wreath builder today. So thanks for stopping in, everyone, and I hope you have a great rest of your week. Alrighty, we will see you on the next one.